Hey guys, welcome to a counselor journey to private practice. Welcome. I hope that you are doing well today. So before we get rolling, we start just diving through this and checking off boxes. I want you to take a moment to check out the link below in the comments. I started a podcast called A Counselor's Journey to Private Practice, and it goes right along with this YouTube channel and with the website at counselorsjourney.com. I want you to, if you can, give me a kindness. Go on there and subscribe. Share this with your mental health professionals. Any mental health professional out there that's looking at how do I start private practice? How do I grow it? How do I market it? How do I scale it? How do I make sure that I don't find myself, in deep water? Let them know what we're doing. Let them know the community that we're building. I'm smiling because I'm excited. I love that you're here with me sharing space. So this video, the title, right? We're looking at surviving the summer slump in private practice. Now, in the podcast, which I know you're going to go out there, you're going to check it out because I did the whole episode on this and I'll do a mini version here. I shared that it would be pretty cool if some professor out there created a course in graduate school of surviving, course title, Surviving Private Practice During the Summer, right? I would have been like, yes, I want to take that course. Sign me up. Now, I want to share strategies with you, on what we can do to plan ahead for our private practice. And the first place I want to start with is writing or video. Now, some of us, we're like, no, I'm not going to write. But maybe you'll consider doing a video. What we want to look at is SEO, search engine optimization. That is your baby for being found online. And right now, because of COVID, that's where it pushes at. Most individuals are looking for whatever service, a mechanic, clinician, food that delivers, online space. And I think at some point it's going to kind of return where it's going to be a good mix between face-to-face and online. But now with a referral base, that's where I think a lot of energy needs to go to. So during the summer, you may have a little bit of lag. You may have some time that you can play with. During that time, I want to push you to create more content. Because the more content that you create, the easier it is for people to find you. And it doesn't have to be like this whole magic system on how do I create content. It can be pretty straightforward. I want you to think about 10 different patients that you served. And then when you have these 10 different patients, imagine they're an avatar, right? Or like an imaginary person, if you will. And then I want you to look at presenting concern, common symptoms, and strategies that you supported them with, right? So that is your video. That is your blog post. So if you saw a client that struggled with depression, so they came to you because they were struggling with suicidal thoughts, the title would be How to Navigate Suicidal Thoughts. And then let's say that they share symptoms. Common symptoms will be trouble sleeping, negative thoughts, worry more days than not. That would be the second part of the article you would do, the blog post or the video that you would share. Common symptoms connected to suicidal thoughts. And the third part would be coping skills. And the coping skills that you did with them during the session could be deep breathing. It could be journal writing. It could be some sort of arts-related activity. It could be challenging thoughts, reframing thoughts. Whatever those coping skills are, you would jot those down into your blog post and then kind of write them out in a very black and white average way to do it. Or you would do them in a video as far as walking the person through, just like you would do in a session. Now remember, it's not clinical advice you're giving, so you can kind of skip a little bit of those points and just give, the direct idea of what it would be like to walk through those. So you got those three components. And then what you do is you throw in these extra variables here. It's called your call to actions. If you found this article helpful, click the link below to schedule an appointment. As you read this article all about managing negative thoughts, please know that right now we're accepting new clients. Here's our number to schedule an appointment. Or here is an intake form on the website to schedule an appointment. And then you have content, right? So the more that you do that, 10, 20, 1,000, no, not 1,000, but 10, 20 of these during the summer, that's going to boost your SEO, search engine optimization, and then it's going to make it easier for people out there in the community to find you, and then it's going to reduce this whole slump during the summer because you're doing the exact things that you need to do to make sure that you're found during the summer. Another area, and I've got my notes here, another area that I want us to look at is creating groups. So during the summer, there's usually a transition for most people where they notice a decrease maybe individual sessions, and you can play with that by creating a group. So an individual session may cost, let's say, $100, but you could do a group for, let's say, $40, right? 40. Now let's just keep it simple math. Let's say $50, right? Now for a person, the average person to pay $50, it's cheaper than paying $100. Now, if you do a group for, let's say, 6 people that struggle with anxiety, so you want to help them to tame anxiety, the group title, looking at taming anxiety for adults, and then share a little bit about it. And then with the group you meet, maybe for a curriculum, like 6 weeks, you share the breakdown of how you would meet, and then you would charge that $50 fee. And then from that fee, maybe you have 6 people. So 6 people at $50, that for that hour comes out more than it would have came out for an individual session. And it gives you more flexibility because now you're able to earn more money. You're able to work with more individuals, right? So you have 6 people in there that can lead to more referrals, right? Because it opens up the window versus one person leading to referrals. You could serve more individuals, maybe build more referrals to do that. And then it helps and supports for that summer slump. Another area I think connected to that we really want to look at is people's schedules during the summer. So, can someone dedicate seeing you once a week or once every other week throughout the whole summer? Or, can they swing seeing you for that 6-week period throughout the summer due to their schedule? Maybe they have more family vacation, trips kind of schedules, so it's a little more difficult for them to, remain that same level of consistency and commitment. And then the other strategy I want you to look at, so you got 2 so far, is I want you to think about passive income. So passive income, play with it in the same way that I shared with you earlier on creating a blog post, creating a video. So right, I shared that structure with you. Now let's say that you created a workbook. You would still start it with that first structure. What is the creative concern? So the workbook could be, a workbook in taming anger, or how to effectively engage in anger management techniques, whatever it may be. So you got the title, and then in the workbook, you would share common symptoms, maybe why or how people experience those, in the same way that you would sit down in your professional session with a client and share, if someone says, I don't know why I have issues sleeping, maybe you would go into, you would share, let me hear a little bit of your history, what's going on, and then you would be able to identify, potential reasons why they're struggling with sleep. And then you would go into the coping skills, so that goes into the workbook. The beautiful part about this whole process, and I'm smiling because I think you're way ahead of the game, and the podcast I go into much more detail, so I'm sure you check that out, is that you're able to just redo what you're doing in your sessions. You just do it in a more workbook format. And I do think that it serves a beautiful need. There are so many people out there, and there's courses that I offer. So I'll be very transparent with you and share this through experiences. So there's the immigration course I offer, where I teach clinicians, mental health professionals, how to add the niche of writing immigration evaluations to their private practice, boost their income by over $2,000 a month. I have the website, Counselor's Journey, the podcast. So these avenues, right? What's beautiful about them is sometimes individuals don't want to come in for a session, whether they're really busy, doesn't fit their schedule, it's just not their style, for whatever reason. And that's okay. Everyone has their avenue of life, if you will, their journey. So then if you're trying to provide a service, let's say supporting someone with anxiety, you can't provide it one-on-one like this. Right now through COVID, you're probably providing counseling like this, right? Through video. You can also provide it through a workbook. And we see a lot of those. Visit your local bookstore. There's tons of workbooks from different, Dr. Phil, different individuals. So we know that they work. Yes, it doesn't replace, at least in my opinion, it doesn't replace, the actual experience that you get with your patient working one-on-one, but it does provide an avenue of self-help. And then there's e-courses, a course where you can walk someone through. So as we reach an end, this is a shorter version again to the podcast. I want you to take some time today, and it would really do me a kindness. I'll be very genuine here. Growing, that's my goal. I am growing this community, Counselor's Journey. I want us to really build a system, a family of different mental health professionals that are doing amazing things, that are serving every day, that are supporting others. So if you ever want to be in an interview, let me know. I'd love to connect with you and showcase you what you're doing, in your field and how you're helping others, and how you've been ambitious or curious in your private practice. I think that other clinicians will really benefit from hearing that. Let me know. Reach out to me. Go to counselorsjourney.com. On there is a form where you can be a guest to the podcast. So let me know. If you haven't done so already, share what we're doing here on the YouTube channel. Let other clinicians know so that we can have more individuals subscribe. That really helps to move us forward in a positive direction. Thank you for the space that you shared with me. Thank you for your kindness. Have a beautiful day.